Yeah, and then he walked in with a giant turquoise turkey. I know. Oh, I'm sorry. It's not even plugged in. Hi, my name is Gareth P. Jones, children's author. Thanks for asking. I'm here to host the special homeschooling reading events in support of the Paper Beach Project. Some of you will already know that we're giving away the chance to contribute to a giant art installation that will come to life on Friday the 12th of March. Hopefully it won't actually come to life. I mean, that sounds quite terrifying. Anyway, I won't be changing my look or my name during the course of this project, but Egmont Books will. It's going to be called Judith. No, not really. I have no idea what they're changing it to. Nobody tells me anything. You can find out more of what I'm on about at this web address, where you can also rewatch videos. You could rewatch this one. Maybe you are rewatching this one, but I don't want to get too meta about it. If you want to know everything about the project, then go to the first video. And in a minute, I'm going to hand you over to this week's guest author. So make sure you've got a pen and a piece of paper handy so that you can complete the exercise that they're going to set you. Grown-ups, there are extra materials available at this web address. At the end of the video, I'll be back to tell you how to create your entry for the Paper Beach giant artwork. And we'll take a look at this week's totalometer to see how we're getting on our quest to get over 3,000 entries. And you'll be able to find out if your school has won the £500 book bundle. So don't go anywhere. Don't go hitting any of the tabs. Don't go swiping away. Stay where you are. Now it's time for the author of the hilarious Jim Smith books, Barry Loser. Or is that the other way around? I think it's the other way around. Yes, okay. Over to Jim. I'll be back after that.
Hello, I'm going to teach you how to draw some characters from my books today. Here's the first book we're going to draw from. It's Barry Loser, I Am Not a Loser. It's the first in the Barry Loser series. And it's all about Barry Loser, who is a bit of a loser, but he's not the biggest loser in the whole world. And that's why he wants to tell everyone, I am not a loser. And my books are filled with loads of drawings on every page, well, drawing on every page. I just love drawing. I like writing as well, but that's a bit more of a hassle than drawing. So I think we're going to start by teaching you how to draw Barry. So here's a picture of Barry with his mum. All my characters have big noses. Reason for this is something I heard once about cartoon characters. If you give them a silhouette and outline that really stands out, then they stick in people's heads more. So I thought I'd give mine big noses that literally stuck out, and those noses would stick in people's heads. So that's why Barry's got such a ginormous hooter. So I start all my characters with their eyes. And I think of their eyes as two big olives like that. I really like olives. So let's do 2 olives for the eyes. And Barry's nose, because he's worried people think he's a loser, I quite often give him a big droopy nose, kind of makes him look like he's worried. Then I do his hair, just kind of like, you know when you get commas around words, his hair is kind of like lots of commas. So a few commas like this, a few more on top. And his ear is a comma with a smaller comma inside it. That's what I like about cartoons, is you can make something complicated like an ear into something very simple like that. It still looks like what it's supposed to be. So you finish off his head with a little upside down comma, like that. And then he's got a small body, just a square like that really. If you give a character a big head and a small body, makes them look like they're kids, makes them look younger. Kids kind of do have big heads and small bodies. A little arm with 3 fingers. Obviously we've got 5 fingers. But with cartoons you can do 3 fingers, still looks like a hand. It's just quicker. He's got a little hood like this. It's kind of like one of his ears. A line for his zip. And then 2 little legs with little round feet. Like that. There's Barry. Here's a photo of me when I was about, I don't know, 9 or 10 years old, and I was on a school trip to the Isle of Wight. This is us on a ferry, and that's me with the blonde hair in the middle, and actually it's not that blonde, is it? It's kind of brown. But anyway, I became Barry in my books. That's what I did when I wrote my books. I looked back to when I was about 10 years old. So I became Barry, and then the person next to me is my best friend Ben, who's still one of my best friends now, and he became Bunky. So yeah, I looked back at when I was that age and I thought about things that we got up to. So we're going to draw Bunky now, and I'll just tell you what he was like, what Ben was like back in those days. This is Bunky, Barry's best friend. So we start with his eyes. 2 little black olives like that. And a big nose, this time going up. Because Bunky's a bit less of a warrior than Barry. 3 teeth there. So you can kind of tell how my characters feel just from their noses. So he's got 3 teeth, 3 little clumps of hair at the front of his head, and a big bald head here. Oh, I use a mechanical pencil so they always snap, but they give you a nice thin line. There's his ear. And to show where his head's been shaved, just lots of little dots like that. That's a good way if you want to draw your dad when he's got a bit of a beard coming on, you can do it like that. Bunky is based on my best friend when I was a kid, who was called Ben, and he was always coming around my house. 3 fingers there, so you've got 3 fingers, 3 teeth, 3 little clumps of hair. 3 is just a nice number. And he'd come around my house every morning in the summer holidays at about 7 o'clock, knock on the door. My mum would let him in, and I'd be asleep upstairs, lying in still. He'd come in and sit down on the sofa. My mum would give him some breakfast, and he'd start watching TV, and I'd come down about an hour later and get really annoyed that Ben was living my life in my front room, watching my TV. So sometimes I'd kick him out of the house. There you go, he's got really long, thin legs like that. Then when I'd calm down a bit, I'd phone him back up and get him to come back around my house again. So that's sort of what me and Ben were like, and that's what Barry and Bunky are like. So that's Bunky. My favourite bit to draw about him are his legs. Just so easy, 2 thin lines. Bunky. If you've read my books, you'll know that instead of the word cool, Barry and Bunky say keel. And this is because when I was a kid, me and my best friend Ben really wanted to be American. We thought the way American kids said the word cool sounded a bit like keel. So if we liked something, we'd say, oh my god, that's so keel. If we didn't like something, we'd be like, oh, it's completely unkeel. Anyway, we were in the Keel gang. Now we're going to draw Nancy Verkenwerken, who is based on a pen friend I had when I was a kid, who was called Nancy Vankerbergen. She went to my school for a few years and we were friends. Then she moved to Canada. We kept writing. And I really like Nancy because she's a bit less of an idiot than Barry and Bunky. She's always rolling her eyes at them. So big nose as usual, big round head. She wears square glasses. There goes my pencil again. Here. Oh. So here, a bit wobbly. horses. Nancy wasn't in the first book. I just had Barry and Bunky as best friends, but we all thought it'd be a good idea to have a girl in their gang. She's actually ended up being one of my favourite characters. She's kind of always tells Barry when his ideas are stupid. And Bunky kind of fancies her, which is quite funny because Barry gets jealous. I think Barry probably fancies her too. I don't think she fancies either of them. But she's a good friend. It's her little body. She's got a ponytail here. 3 fingers. Little skirt. 2 little legs like this. And when I first drew her, I gave her these 3 little freckles here, which has become a bit of a pain really, because I have to remember to put them in to every drawing. So that's Nancy Verkenwerken. When I was a kid, I was really into the design of Coke cans. I had a massive collection of Coke cans from all around the world. Here's one of them that I've still got. My dad actually got me this for Christmas one year. It's an American new Coke can. How loserish is that? But I love it. So yeah, I had a massive collection of Coke cans, and I had loads of books about Coca-Cola. In one of my books, there was a story about how years ago, Coke really wanted to use Santa Claus in one of their adverts. But this was so long ago that actually Santa wasn't even known to wear red and white in those days. He wore green and blue, but Coca-Cola wanted them in their colours, red and white. So they did an advert and they put Santa in it and they dressed him in their colours, red and white. And this advert was so successful that apparently ever since then, Santa Claus has worn red and white, all because of this advert. And to me, this was just the keenest fact I'd ever heard. But I also always wondered, what if a company like Fanta had got to Santa before Coke? Maybe then he'd be wearing orange clothes now. Maybe he'd be called Santa Claus, Fanta Claus as well. I got so into cans that I actually started making little characters out of cans. This was when I was at university. And this is Tin Can and the Six Packs live at the fridge. These are quite fun little things you can do. You cut around the top of a can and lift the head up, the top up, and make it into a little head. You're probably thinking, what is he going on about? What has this got to do with Barry Loser books? Well, I actually put my love of cans into my books. So here are just a few of the flavours of Fronkel, which is what everyone drinks in the Barry Loser world instead of Coca-Cola. So you've got regular, diet cherry, and even banana Fronkel, if you look at the yellow can. If you read the first Barry Loser book, you'll find out how Barry actually uses banana Fronkel to get back at his enemy, who is the bully in his class, Darren Darrenofsky. And Darren Darrenofsky loves Fronkel. He's always drinking cans of it and doing big Fronkel burps in Barry's face. But I love actually drawing Darren. He's got a big round head and a little fat round body. So we're going to learn how to draw Darren now. So we start with his eyes. And then big nose pointing up, a bit like Bunky's. And 2 little nostrils. I usually save nostrils just for my grown-up characters, but they kind of make Darren look a bit more horrible. So I put them in. Then big round head. Here's his ear. And his hair is just lots of little dashes like that. Then his body, I usually just actually these days just draw another little circle like this underneath, with a line across to show his t-shirt. A little arm, sometimes I draw the arm with just one line, sometimes I do 2 lines like this, and little feet. But if you notice, I've missed out something. It's his V eyebrows, which make him straight away, at the moment he doesn't look like a baddie, but if you put a little V in, straight away it transforms him into a baddie. Eyebrows are just a really good way of changing someone's expression. So let me just teach you a few different eyebrows. There's surprised eyebrows. So if you want someone to look surprised, maybe have them gasping. And then give them little arched eyebrows like that. Straight away they look surprised. Or worried eyebrows. Barry worries a lot, so let's do him with his droopy nose. Let's give him a bald head though. And worried eyebrows are just 2 little slanted dashes like that. Straight away they look worried. And if you've got a dog, or if you've ever seen a dog, you'll maybe have noticed that they've got quite expressive eyebrows. So you can turn these kind of drawings, the characters, into dogs quite easily. Just give them a couple of ears, a little black dot for the nose. Let's do a little worried dog here. I hope you've enjoyed learning how to draw some of my characters and finding out a bit about how I write my books today. There's more stuff on my website, barryloser.com, and you can get all my books in bookshops or online. But really I just hope that you carry on drawing and writing your own little stories, because it's just one of the most fun things you can do. Now it's your turn to draw a picture of a character. If you tuned in last week and you wrote about your own main character, you could try and draw them now. If not, maybe choose a character from a book you like. If the book has pictures, you know what they look like. If it doesn't, you'll have to make it up yourself. Quite often a character that I've written about ends up looking totally different when I draw them, but that's okay. Things to think about are how tall they are, what colour hair or skin they have, what clothes they wear. Maybe they're not even a person. You can draw them realistically or cartoon style. I always like drawing cartoons because you can make them really funny. If I'm stuck, I usually look up pictures of stuff online to give me ideas, or I look in one of my art books. You can pause this video while you do your drawing, and adults, don't forget there's more info on this at eastcliffcreatives.com/paper-beach. Good luck with your drawing. How's that? I'm sure you all did amazing drawings. Don't turn me off just yet, because in a second I'm going to hand you back to Gareth Jones. He's going to tell you more about the Paper Beach project and show you how to get involved. But before that, I'm going to show you my picture for the Paper Beach project, which is what happens to me when I read a book, which is that I go off into a daydream. I love it when I get to an interesting bit in a book and it just makes me think. And I stop reading and I close my eyes and I just think about that for a little bit. It gives me new ideas for books of my own. Hopefully you'll do a drawing for the Paper Beach project too, or you can do a piece of writing for it. I look forward to seeing them all. Thanks for watching and good luck with homeschooling. Now back to Gareth.
No, apparently it was an entire lemon. I know, I was surprised it fit in the foot. Hello again. Right, if you're ready now, it's time to find a black pen and a piece of A4 paper, because you're now going to create a drawing to be a part of the Paper Beach art project. If you prefer, you can type your message on a laptop or computer. Our theme is adventures. I've written adventures set in space. I've written adventures set on pirate ships, in the past, in the future, in the present, all around the world. But our question for you is, where would you like to go on your next reading adventure? Once you've got an answer, simply draw us a picture and write us a message and tell us all about it. And once you've done with that, get an adult to help you scan it in and email your address to this email address, eastcliffcreatives@gmail.com. If you don't have a scanner, there are free scanning apps on phones, so I'm told, or you could post it to this address, or you could take a good clear photo of your entry and email it. Whichever way you get it to us, please make sure you include the town or city where you live, your email address and the name of your school, where we'll be donating a prize bundle of £500 worth of books every week. Well, not always to that school, to one school, whichever school wins. The terms and conditions for the competition are available on the website as you enter. Now it's time to see our entry of the week and find out which school has won the £500 book bundle. This week's entry and the name of the school is being shown on the screen now, and it will be highlighted on the website too. Congratulations to you. The books will be on their way to you very soon. Now let's take a look at the totalometer to see how we're doing with our goal to get to 3,000 submissions. Yes, we're definitely going in the right direction, but we've still got a way to go. Thank you so much to everybody who sent in entries, but please remember to keep spreading the word about this. Tell your friends so we can get to our 3,000 target. Thanks for joining us this week and for continuing to send in your brilliant entries. It's really nice to see everything that people are sending in. Tune in next time to meet another author or illustrator and to see whether your entry for your school has won the next £500 book bundle. We'll also be taking a look at the totalometer to see how we're doing as we get closer to our goal of 3,000 entries. Don't forget to keep an eye out for the email so we can invite you to the live stream of the big build on the 12th of March, where you'll be able to see the project finally coming together. We'd like everybody to see the final image, and we can't do that unless you give us permission. So when you get that email, make sure you do all the fiddly stuff to make sure you give us permission so you can follow this project right through to the end, which I hope you'll want to. And please tell your friends to tune in and spread the word about this. Grown-ups, if you can spread this on social media, that would be fantastic, and try and get as many people involved. So have a lovely week and see you all next time. Thank you.